Hello and welcome back to the Student Music Network with me, Dylan. And today we are joined by Dylan. How are you
Hello,
doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So we have got Dylan interviewing Dylan today, which is amazing.
Incredibly confusing.
It is. However, Dylan, contrary to popular belief, I've heard this isn't your real name.
It's not.
Oh
I know.
my
A
gosh.
fake. No, Dylan was actually what my parents were gonna call me if I was a boy.
That is cool. I
Yeah.
love it.
I
It's the
mean,
best name in the
you
world.
just got the name straight off the bat, so I'm quite
I
jealous.
know. You can have it. We can be Dylan together. So,
I'll
um, anyway, how are you? How's things? You've been super, super busy. Like,
no,
how are you doing?
I won't lie to you. I'm very, very tired at the moment. I feel like it's got to that point where everything is getting so busy that I don't know where I'm going next. I kind of just turn up and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, we're in Stockholm.
Are you in Stockholm at the moment? Is that where
No,
you are
no.
at the moment?
But I just did Stockholm and Paris in 48 hours, which is like that's
Crazy.
the quickest that I've jumped from city to city thus far in
Yeah.
my career. So it was quite a haze.
Yeah. I mean, that is mad. Um, so Dylan, as this is a getting to know Dylan, I kind of want to start off at the beginning. So how did you kind of get into music? Was it a family thing? Where did the sort of like love for it come from?
Well, my dad brought me up on like pure rock and roll. So AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, Rainbow. Like as a kid, that was my jam. It was just dad rock on the kitchen table. And then I started writing songs very pretentiously when I was about 7, although they were absolutely awful. And so was my voice. My voice didn't actually get anywhere near good until I was probably about 20, which is embarrassing.
I don't believe it. I don't
Oh,
believe it.
trust me, just trust me on this one. And it's like fine to say now because looking back on it, I'm so ashamed that I ever thought that I could be a singer. But I really mainly wanted to be a writer until I was 18. And then one of my songs was sent off on a CD to a producer who decided that I wasn't half bad and started working with him. And ever since then, it's kind of taken up. He was like, "You're going to be an artist." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And here we are.
And ever since then, it's just taken a rocket launcher to the top.
I mean, it's only been very, very quick over the last
Yeah,
like 8 months. The first
yeah,
years were
yeah.
very well, they felt really slow.
Obviously, a lot of hard work goes in behind the scenes. So, yeah,
I mean, it's insane because obviously you see stuff like this and a lot of other artists coming through at the moment, and you think it's like, oh, it's an overnight thing.
yeah.
It's taken us all years. It's so
Unfortunately,
long.
a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
And
a
you
lot of
go,
sacrifice.
you obviously mentioned, you obviously mentioned when you were like 7, you were like writing songs and stuff. I've seen these videos of you when you're like a toddler with like cardboard cutouts, like. So really, I think it was always destined to be.
I mean, see, my dad, he was, I mean, he was so like enthusiastic about it. Like that was the one thing we bonded over was just me with my plywood guitar.
Yeah.
I wasn't good at anything else. This was the problem. So when we hit 18, Dad was like, "So what are you going to do with your life?" And I was like, "I'm going to be a pop star," thinking that would have gone away when I sort of turned 8 or 9. But it
Yeah.
stuck, and he had a very sort of worrying look on his face that was, "Oh God, okay, look at what I have done. She now wants to be a singer."
But so moving on to the new music now. Nothing lasts forever. What an absolute bop. I had it on repeat. It is an absolute banger. What a tune. What can you tell me a bit about like the writing process on this track?
So I went in with two of my favorite people, which is King Ed and Martin Luke Brown. And I was going through a bit of a weird phase in my personal life where I was just in complete denial that relationships should ever be a thing, or that, people walk in and out of your lives as much as they please. And I was super, super like cynical about life in general. And I wrote in, and I was just like, guys, this is so ridiculous. And, they both have wives now, and I was just like, this is ridiculous, like nothing lasts forever, I hate it here. And they were like, that's a great title, and I was like, oh, it's a good point. And actually it was really, really quick. We all sort of just jamming, and I've got some great videos of it, just dancing around in the studio, and we'd sort of listen to Footloose as a reference because I love that song. It's my guilty pleasure. And you know, it's a classic Dylan in the way it's very happy but very cynical in the lyric.
Yeah. And with this new release comes the announcement of your mixtape, The Greatest Thing I'll Ever Learn. Great title. What was the inspiration behind this title?
So my mum used to say something to me the whole time, which was, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. And as a 22-year-old songwriter who makes mountains out of molehills with an incredibly chaotic personal life, it just that hasn't quite worked out for me. Like the whole love and letting people like you, and friendships and relationships, and just the world of feeling in general. Like I'm just so all over the place with it. And I think that I feel at this point in my life that is probably one of the hardest lessons in life to learn. And all of the songs sort of fit within it.
And then with this mixtape, you embark on your sold out UK tour. How excited are you to like hear the fans? I mean, you've been touring like crazy, but how excited are you to hear the fans like sing back your lyrics, have a little boogie?
I'm just so happy to be able to get back in front of my own crowd. Because as much as I love supporting other artists, because there's not as much pressure, like you get to have a lot of fun with that, and like meeting new people and playing to an audience that has no idea who you are, and learning how to tailor yourself to winning people over in different age groups and stuff like that. But having your own crowd, nothing beats that, because everyone is singing. Like no one's going, who is this chick? So I'm really, really, really excited. And there's a lot of like fans I haven't seen in so long that I just cannot wait to sing with.
And I know you obviously mentioned about supporting other artists, and I have to bring this up. You've probably been asked about this loads, but Ed Sheeran, Wembley, that is absolutely crazy. Like, how does it even feel to be on stage at Wembley Stadium?
I think it was such a mixture of it was like about, when you're standing at like the top of a really tall building and that it's got like glass around it and you're scared of heights and you're like, oh God, like, is this happening? And you're sort of, or like if you do a bungee jump, you feel like you're going to throw up everywhere. That's what it felt like before I got on stage. Because Wembley is something that I've been dreaming about for so long. Like that's the one venue that's been at the top of my bucket list, a sure thing in my brain forever. So getting to play 5 nights in a row was just, I mean, I was spoiled with that. So spoiled.
Incredible.
I definitely didn't let 1 ounce of energy go to waste on those shows. I was knackered by the end of them because it's just so much adrenaline. Like once you're on the stage, it is the best thing ever. But trying to get on is quite hard.
Anyway, so Dylan, we're so happy to have you as part of the student radio class of 2023. I just want to finish by asking you, obviously you've had the most crazy 2022, but is there anything you want to achieve in 2023? Like, how's the new year looking to shape up for you?
I would expect to have written an album by the end of next year. I am hoping, if I'm talented enough. Other than that, taking it one day at a time. Otherwise, I'll get way too worked up and anxious.
Exciting stuff. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dylan. It's lovely to meet you. And say
hello for me. I will. I'll say hello to my sister for you. No worries.
Thank you.
Bye.